Hey guys, welcome back. Happy May 1st. To kick off this month, I've got lots of books that we need to go through. This is not my full haul. I still have a few books laying on the floor, kind of stacked into a pile over there. But this is the majority of the books that I have hauled in the last several months. I would say from January on. So we've got a lot of them to get through. I'm gonna grab pile by pile and we're just gonna do it that way. First pile here, I have quite a bit of duplicates. I did do that on purpose. These are books, most of them I have already read. I'm really trying, not trying actively so far, but I have bought some of the materials to attempt bookbinding. I've seen a lot of people make their own really gorgeous cover of books, and for the price of the some of these special editions go for, I feel like it would pay for itself. First one is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I read this quite a while ago. I really like this. This is a Queen of Hearts origin story. I liked it so much that I did lend it to a friend and I never got it back, so now I have it. History of Love. I read this a few years ago. I also really like this. I think I gave this 5 stars. I do own this one. It's in storage. It's gonna be tough because you just have to rip that cover off, but I figure it's better for me to find some books for really cheap at thrift stores because I don't know if my first several attempts are gonna go very well. Song of Achilles and Circe by Madeline Miller. These are both 5-star books for me. I just love everything Madeline Miller does. I'm so excited for her next book. I read an article about what she's working on, but she can take all the time she needs because these are works of art. Mistborn. I'm buying duplicates of books that I have really enjoyed. I love this one. I don't have this edition. I think I bought the UK kind of smaller square editions, which I love, but this one is also really cool and it's super floppy. Next is Madness by Maria Hornbacher. I have never heard anyone talk about Maria Hornbacher. I've read 2 of her books, Wasted and Madness. So good. I can't, if I would go through, find these books that I have in storage, it's like every other page would have a tab on it because her writing is just that beautiful. This book, I didn't like that much, and it is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This was okay, but again, I think I got it for $2, and I'm gonna try the bookbinding on it. Dave Grohl, The Storyteller. I read this one only a year or 2 ago. Absolutely loved it. I think I rented it at the time from the library, so I did not own the physical copy, and now I do. This is also in the duplicate pile. This is Fourth Wing. I have the first and second book. I'm guessing it's the one with the dragons there. I found 2 of these, so this one is going to be sacrificed in the bookbinding attempt. Okay, what have we got next? The House in the Pines, murder mystery, I'm guessing. I can't really remember what this one is about, but I guess when I bought it, it looked like it was promising. Next, we have 100 Years of Solitude. I haven't read any classics this year. I have really been slacking on that. Last year, I got through East of Eden. This year, I really want to focus on this as well as the Count of Monte Cristo, so I need to hurry it up. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I've never read this book. I figured this would be maybe a nice palette cleanser in between some other darker series that I'm working on. Oh gosh, I'm getting all these mixed up. The Island. What a cool looking bird. This I bought. I had it on my TBR list, but it was kind of a distant, I'd like to read it someday. But recently I found a quote randomly on Pinterest and I was like, ooh, I really like that quote. I need to find out what it's from. And it was from this. That doesn't always bode well for me because I did that recently with Kafka on the Shore, and I ended up really not liking that book. So we'll see. My Calamity Jane. What a cool cover. I'm not going to go through all of them just because it'll take forever. Ledge. This is a wintry fantasy. Next we have The Hatmakers, a cozy slice of life fantasy. I have really been in the mood for cozy fantasy, and I'm hoping this hits the spot. For the Wolf fantasy about, I think it's like a Red Riding Hood retelling. And then we have Summer Island. This is by Kristen Hanna. I've only read The Great Alone by this author, but that ended up being like one of my top 3 books of the year. I think I read that last year. Did I read it this year? Did I read it like in January? Either way, it's going to end up being one of my best books of the year. So I really want to read more stuff by her. So these next 2 books, I don't know a ton about, but I've been seeing them absolutely everywhere. The first is The Wedding People. And then the next one is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I've heard this one is kind of difficult to get through. It's very polarizing. So I kind of want to go into it not really knowing much about it and just be surprised. I found an absolutely gorgeous hardcover edition of The Fall of Gondolin by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is going to go right up next to my special edition of The Hobbit. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I really want to do a reread through of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings this year, and I'll probably have to add this in with them. Next is Heart of the Fae. I have never heard anyone talk about this except for one booktuber whose videos I really enjoy watching. She loved reading this, so it makes me really curious. Next we have The Guest in this very vibrant green. This next book is outside of my, I wouldn't say comfort zone necessarily, but what I would typically pick up, and that is Our Cursed Love. This is a romance. I think it's a maybe more tragic romance. Beautiful cover. And then we have The Hurricane Wars. This is the debut novel in a fantasy trilogy. I've heard this compared to R.F. Kuang a little bit, which I'm not sure if that's going to be positive for me, but we'll have to see. I did find a few series, a lot of them complete. Well, no, a few of them complete. So first one I found together is We Hunt the Flame and We Free the Stars. I think this is just a duology. I believe I used to own this book and then I unhauled it, but I think I unhauled it not because I started it and didn't like it, but because I just didn't have room for it. Marie Lu's Legend trilogy. I think she's come out with more books since then, kind of in this world, but I think the main gist of it is the trilogy. I've never read anything by Marie Lu, so we'll see if I enjoy her. I did find Heartstopper, which I've heard good things about. I found book 1, 3, and 4 all together. Did not see book 2 anywhere. Maybe they really liked book 2 and kept it. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I have another Fourth Wing. This one has the lovely dragon sprayed edges. So beautiful. And then book 2, Iron Flame. Book 3, I think, has recently come out. The positive in having either the whole series or the majority of the series present is I can read it all in one go if I really enjoy it, rather than reading the first one, not having any more, and then getting to the second one years later, and I have to reread the first because I've forgotten everything. The negative is if I don't like it, I bought the whole series. Let's run through a bunch of fantasy that I bought. Soul Swift, Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. I still haven't read anything by this author, although I did also find the Atlas 6, which she's really known for. There's quite a few POVs in here, right? I'm not super fond of that. And then we have this one I've never heard of, Psycho Shifters. I think this has to do with werewolves. Really pretty sprayed edges. I do know the author has also written The Blood of Hercules, which I have heard of, but I did not read. How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying. This title just made me buy this one. This sounds great. I think it's about a hero stuck in a time loop where she keeps trying to kill the Dark Lord, but then she dies and she comes back each time. We have God Killer. Look at that cover. Look at that beautiful cover. Let's grab more. Stronger, Faster, and More Beautiful. This is very much giving me Uglies vibes, which I read in like middle school, that trilogy. I've heard this is actually pretty deep and good. It's set in the future where we are able to change our bodies and get ourselves kind of as close to perfect, and the cost that comes with that. Troy, Lord of the Silver Bow. Anything to do with Greek mythology. Yes. And then we have If I Had Your Face, as well as Pizza Girl. This next one I've been wanting to read a long time. I have not seen the movie that they made out of this, but every time I would find this book in the thrift store, it would be a movie poster on the front, which I so dislike. This is The Virgin Suicide. I don't think this is a picture from the movie, but if so, that's completely fine because it's subtle enough. It's not like it has a big sticker that's like now made into a motion picture. Why do companies do that? A Magical Girl Returns. This is a translated work. And then The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I think I'm gonna wait till fall to read this. This next book I've also never heard anyone talk about, but the premise sounds really cool. And also the cover, that beautiful, look at those beautiful colors. The Yoga of Max's Discontent. From what I remember, Max is struggling in life. Why is he here? What is he made for? And he goes on this kind of sprawling journey across several different countries in order to answer life's impossible questions. Infinite Country, which is a nice short book. Prospero Lost. This is an urban fantasy, an adult urban fantasy, which is kind of funny what I'm about to say because I just hauled so many more like YA fantasies, but because I have been struggling a bit with some of the YA stuff, I've been wondering if I should veer more into adult only fantasy, and it doesn't seem to be making much of a difference in my purchasing so far. I have to say I got really lucky lately with my sprayed edge finds. This is A Song to Drowned Rivers. Look at it. Just, I mean, it makes me so happy to have these. Like, I've got some of these up on the wall and I can see the sprayed edges. It's just like a automatic shot of dopamine. I bought Temple Alley Summer purely because of the author. I wasn't able to find her other book, which I think is called The Village Beyond the Mist. Supposedly that is what inspired Spirited Away, but this seems very Spirited Away-esque. So I'm still really excited to read this. This seems more of maybe like a middle grade book, but I'm still really hopeful. And this is another translated work, which I love buying translated works. I keep them in a separate little shelf on my bookshelves. I'd like to fill them up more. I got a big old pile on my lap. We have Holly by Stephen King. He is such a hit or miss author for me, but the first book in this series, what was it called? What was it called? What was it called? Can you tell me? That had the character Holly in it. Shoot, I'm not going to be able to remember what it was called, and he's not going to tell me in here. Whatever that book was, I gave 5 stars. The Outsider. I think it was The Outsider was the first book in this series. I don't think you have to read these all in order. I think this is book 3, Between book 1 and 2, I think it's like more of a collection of short stories. So I'm just gonna jump to this one. Next we have Blackouts by Justin Torres. I read We the Animals by this author a long time ago. Really, really enjoyed that. We have Radio Silence. And then we have our big old fat When the Moon Hatched. Look at that big old boy. This is the book that I was going to possibly read last month as my final book, and I was looking at it and I'm just like, I don't think I've got time. I don't think I'm gonna make it. The Courting of Bristol Keats. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This one, oh my gosh, I have been wanting to read this for so long. I love the cover. I never see this anywhere as far as like, I don't even find this in traditional bookstores. I'm probably just not looking enough, but I definitely never find this in a thrift store. And I did. And it's Juniper and Thorn. Ah, I love that so much. We have Velvet Was the Night. We're getting close. A Taylor Jenkins Reid book called Forever Interrupted. I read Daisy Jones and the Six by this author. That was so good. I am going to soon be reading The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I think it's called. So if everything goes according to how much I enjoyed the first one, then I'm sure I'm gonna want to read this third book by her. I mean, she's got several more out, but this will be fun, which is just like a cute little fantasy that popped up on my feed. I decided to give it a shot. All right, we've reached the final pile. Welcome to the Hyeongnam-dong Bookshop. This cover just like makes me calm. Another translated work. This one is South Korea. Oh gosh, this just, looking at this just makes me feel like peaceful and calm. And then we have Nothing to See here. Very mixed reviews on this one. Lady Macbeth and A Master of Jin. Last book. I love this so much. This is The Wizard's Dog. The Wizard's Dog. And this focuses on Merlin. Merlin's dog, Nosewise. Merlin is kidnapped, and I think Nosewise the dog has to save his master. Does that not look amazing? This makes me so excited for fall. It's only barely spring, and I'm all ready for fall again because this is like the perfect book to read. Nice and cozy and friendly and warm. Oh Lord. It's a lot of books. I did clear out. I've got a rolling bookshelf in the corner that I bought a month or two ago. I was keeping a lot of my read books on there. I have since moved them to a little shelf in the corner. I think I'm just going to I have the first shelf read books and I'm going to keep, as I read, I'll add them there. But I'm also going to put the books that I have hauled, but I'm not allowed to put on my shelves yet. Although, there's a lot of blank space on these shelves that need to be filled, and I don't think I'm going to have an issue with it. But you know the system. I'm supposed to be reading books from that jar, and from there, then I'm able to put these books onto the shelves. We're going to have to do some sort of update or some sort of reading challenge with that because I've been reading a lot of books. I've been moving them from the shelves, but I haven't been reading them from that jar. So maybe in my next video, I'll do some sort of exception where every book I read, I can put 2 on the shelves maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks so much for joining me again on this haul. Let's have a great May, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.